Hello, everyone. We are live. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties for the past couple of minutes, and so we are not going live through the scheduled link, unfortunately, due to those difficulties. But the most important thing, we hope you are able to see and hear us. And today, I am having an exciting interview with one of our brightest graduates, Aaron. And Aaron is a certified Shetty coach who is specializing in life and business coaching. Welcome, Aaron. So happy to have you with us.
Welcome, and thank you for having me. I've looked forward to this day for quite a while. I've seen a lot of great interviews, and I'm thrilled to participate today.
And I'm thrilled to have you. And I see that even though we had technical difficulties, the audience was waiting for you. I see some of the colleagues, alumni here, some of the students, waiting for the interview and congratulating and rooting for you.
I appreciate that.
Well, Aaron, it has been a couple of months, I think, since you have graduated. And I know that probably it has brought many changes in your life and in the way you are serving and in the people that you are working with right now. So we will be hearing a lot of exciting stories. But first, I would like to start with your story in terms of why and how did you decide to become a coach?
Yeah, what a great question. So each year, one of the challenges I give to other people I work with is come up with a word for the year. And my word for 2020 was action. I tend to have a lot of ideas, but I just wasn't taking any action. And so I've been following Jay Shetty for quite a while now. And when he came out that he was going to have a coaching school, I thought, all right, this is somebody I align with, somebody I really connect with, and I feel like I'll get a lot of value out. And this is going to be an investment and commitment. So I'm going to take the action. And so that was it. And it's the timing of how everything worked out this year with COVID and my work schedule. It's the flip side. The benefit to me has been it's allowed me to invest the time needed to become a certified coach. And I'm 100% thrilled that I did it. And I'm looking forward to taking what I've learned to share that with the people I have an opportunity to work with.
Absolutely. Aaron, I know that you have a very busy schedule and a very busy, let's say, lifestyle, because I know that you are having your own business, which is quite successful. So becoming a coach was more of a heart calling rather than thinking, okay, I'm going to do this full time, right?
Absolutely. I started a business 20 years ago out of my apartment. And I've gone through all the growing pains, the ups and downs of hiring people, letting people go, but the ups have been way more than the downs. And I'm very fortunate to where I am at this stage of my career and at my life and where my other business is. And so what I reflected on this, that I see it as an opportunity to give back and raise people's awareness and help people get to that next level. Frankly, it's stuff I wish I would have invested in and taken time to learn earlier in my career. But it's never too late to learn and to try something new. And I truly see the benefits of having a coach, having gone through this experience.
Awesome. At this point, usually I am asking a question, which is, how did becoming a coach change you as a person? And in your case, I would like to ask, how did becoming a coach change you as a leader and an entrepreneur?
Great question. How it changed me is it's caused me to dig in deep with people and ask more questions to understand their point, not necessarily to change their mind or impact their decision, but to raise their awareness. Through coaching, you realize we all have limited beliefs that have been passed on to us by our parents, somebody told us, or there's an experience in our life that is affecting the way we make decisions, either positively or negatively. And through coaching, I've learned I need to dig a little bit deeper to understand that. And by raising that awareness of what is our default response through that process, I'm able to impact people and get the changes that I think they want to do, but it's their idea, it's not my idea. And from that, it's very rewarding and something I'm applying all the time.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Aaron. And if we're talking about, the journey of becoming a coach and where you are today, tell us about what kind of clients are you working with and what do you do with them?
Yeah, great question. So in my introduction, you mentioned I'm focusing on business, but in my experience of working with people, we have our career and we have our personal life. And if one of those is out of line, life's not that great. And when both are out of line, it's really tough. So my thought is, how do we get your career and business where you want it? And how does that integrate with your personal life? And when we can get those two working together, it's pretty magical. And everybody on this call today can think of times in their lives where things are clicking. My relationships are good with whoever that is, whether that's family, a significant other, your children. And my job's going really good and my career is going really good. Well, why is that going good? Because I feel valued, I'm contributing, I'm making a difference. And so through my focus of coaching, it's how do I align those two things? How do I bring those together? And if you're a leader at a company, in the community, or even within your own family, how do I take other people along that same journey to align their personal satisfaction with their career satisfaction, and integrate that all together? It's pretty magical when it happens. It's not easy by any means, but it's possible for absolutely everybody.
Aaron, drop for us some wisdom nuggets today. What to do when you feel that at work you're absolutely striving and being really, progressive and you're productive and you're getting promoted, but then you realize that you're actually paying for that success with your personal or family life. What is the recipe then?
I think the recipe for that is, number one, to acknowledge what did you do to put yourself in position to have that type of success in your life. Coincidentally, I had breakfast with somebody this morning and they shared with me, they were looking through their camera roll and they got to 2017 and they had so many incredible pictures of 2017. And they're like, I didn't appreciate these things at the time. And my question to her is, what did you do in 2016 to put yourself in position for 2017? And she said, I haven't thought about that, because you were doing some small steps to put you in that spot. We don't become great overnight and we don't stink overnight. There's things that happen that get us there. So what I would do would be reflect and digest that and say, all right, what did I do to make my career so good? Am I spending too many, or am I spending extra hours? Did I take on more projects? Did I take initiative? And those are things I took to get me ahead in business, but at what cost was that to my personal life? And each of us has to determine what's the right balance for you. And I can't tell you what the balance is for you. You know what feels right for you. And there's things we can do to help you get there, whether that's analyze your personal life, how you spend your time, what your diet is, what exercise, and where your happiness is from. Or maybe on the flip side, I'm not taking initiative at work. I'm just saying yes to everything. I'm responding. I'm not being asked to creatively think or be proactive. And we can talk about things on that side to help people on the career side.
I love that recipe. I think a lot of our listeners will benefit from it because more and more it comes in our coaching clinics. And I said, today is the time we are going to have a Shetty coach actually answering that question, and you've done it brilliantly. Well, for a second, I definitely want to pause and, give some recognition to this loyal tribe of followers and fans, if I may call so, that came today saying that some of people who were coached by you are here today, like Nisha, and they are vouching for how awesome you've done with them. So this is really beautiful to witness. But also I am seeing here your supervisor, who is also tuning in to watch your interview, and this is absolutely fantastic.
Well, I tell a lot of people about my experience with the Shetty School. Is Shetty got me in the door, but my supervisor, Viraj, you, Medina, and all the supervisors I had the privilege to work with is what kept me in the school. And I think a lot of people can vouch and say the same thing, is that the quality of leadership within the school is absolutely fantastic. And the other part of that, which I personally got a ton of value out, was the diversity of the other coaches within the school. Having the opportunity to work with people literally across the entire world opened my individual perspective and an appreciation for everybody, regardless of race, religion, where you live. There's a lot of great people in the world, and we're fortunate to have a lot of those people in the school now. And there's a phrase, rising tides lift all ships. And I think our school has unbelievable people, and it's great to be a part of that, be able to contribute to the individuals. And so we all can work together to support each other and take this message and truly make it go viral.
Thank you so much, Aaron. This really means a lot to us. And as I can see, Team Viraj is here and they are agreeing, with everything you're saying. So this is absolutely fantastic to witness. But now, Aaron, tell us a little bit about, the coaching process and the coaching approach that you actually use in your coaching practice with your clients, because I'm sure many people who are watching us now and who will be watching on replay may be interested to understand how to align, that work and life balance. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the process of working together.
Absolutely. What I have found through becoming certified is what the topic that somebody often brings to the table is just the tip of the iceberg. And what I've learned through the school is how do we get to the bottom of the iceberg and really dig in? I'll give an example. I had a client recently who said, I need a new job, which on the surface, I understood that. And then we dug into the types of jobs he had. Well, he liked to act, he liked to work in plays and be recognized. So then we started talking about validation. In the course of validation, we started talking about his family and how he was raised. And in the course of that, he shared that he was the youngest of three kids. His other two siblings caused a lot of problems for his parents. And so his parents were always at wit's end with the other two kids. And so he did everything he could to be nice to his parents and get validation. And he didn't realize that through every job he's been taking, he's been trying to get validation from the other person. But by digging deeper, I then turned it and said, okay, where are you getting validation from yourself? Because your manager is going to change the rest of your life. And you're going to have circumstances and situations that change the rest of your life. What are you doing to get validation from yourself? And I just paused and we sat there for probably 30 seconds to a minute. And I could see the light bulb go on, that he realized everything that I'm looking for from other people, I'm not giving myself. And I need to make a conscious effort to give it to myself. So a lot of my coaching is going deep and really understanding people's situations. I also worked with somebody recently, and they were talking about their children and their spouse and trying to find time for everything and how they were reacting to situations. And I just asked the question, put one of your children in your situation, how would you want them to respond? And again, the light bulb went off because they would like their children to open up, to talk about it, not to internalize everything. So I think what I do as a coach is raise your awareness to different perspectives and ways to think about it. We tend to be narrow-minded, but as a coach, my job is to help you see it from different angles. How does your significant other see it? How does your coworkers see it? How do your friends and family and children see it? To raise your perspective, by raising your awareness, it's going to help you achieve the goals that you've got for yourself.
I love that, Aaron. And, the process that you described is actually really, really useful for many people in our times and people of our generation, if I may say so as well. And I want to ask you a little bit, it's more of like, what's your opinion about the current need in coaching? Because my mom, for example, recently she told me, oh, well, but previously we survived tough times and we didn't have coaches, and somehow we still managed to navigate through life. So why are you saying everyone needs a coach right now? And to be honest, she put me for a moment in a very tricky position. How would you answer that?
Oh, don't we love our moms? We always stay in that role. There's a perception and a belief system that I think schools give to us is once you're done with high school, college, or whatever you're done with, that I'm done with that. I never want to see another book the rest of my life. I'm so sick of school. And what we have to understand, there's different ways to learn. And there's a reason professional athletes, professional actors, singers have coaches. These are the elite people in the world that what they do, they think it's important enough to have a coach to help them become their best self. I think we're still educating the rest of the world that it's okay to have a coach. It's okay to ask questions where people believe that asking questions is a sign of weakness. I actually think it's just the opposite. Asking questions is a sign of strength because you're seeking other people's input to help you make the best decision based on the information you have at this time. So I think coaches are becoming more mainstream, and you can have a life absolutely without a coach, but I think you can exponentially increase your output by having a coach to help you along that process. What may take you 6 months to do, you can do in 3 weeks with a coach.
taking note and texting my mom right after this. Thank you. And that's a wonderful explanation. And Aaron, I know that you are very selective in terms of people that you work with, as most of the coaches are. And for example, if someone wants to work with you, who, let's say, is a person who you cannot help with coaching? Are there people like that?
Is there anybody I couldn't help? I think somebody who's not willing to open up and share. There isn't a demographic or age or male or female. It's, are you committed to making a change? And are you open to it? And I think the fact that somebody shows up with that openness, again, is a sign of strength that, hey, I don't have it all figured out, and none of us do. And I'll be the first to tell you, I don't, and I still make mistakes every day. But how do you become your best self and create that vulnerability? And my job as a coach is to create that safe environment for you to be vulnerable, so we can help you get where you want to go. It's your journey. It's not my journey. And I'm just here to help you through that journey.
I love that. I see one of your coaches, another one, on this interview. I'm going to put her comment, and it's going to maybe close our faces for a minute, but I'm still going to put it because I think the audience should read this. Jill Dis says, he did coaching on forgiveness. I have been carrying this blaming to my father for over 30 years. With his questions, I realized I blamed my father for outside people talking, not the way how he was my father at home. I'm doing forgiveness journaling for my father. I owe you a great testimonial, Aaron Wandtke. It helped me so much to take out of my chest this pain. And this is within one session. You are the best.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I remember that. Actually, I remember all my sessions because each one has been amazing. But I remember that session and just a lot of emotion in that session. And I'm thrilled to see her receive the benefits of that. And that's very satisfying.
Am I right in saying that this is the third of your coaches on this interviews who is also giving us now a testimonial? And this is Kathy Walden. Kathy says, coaching is amazing, and Aaron is a fantastic coach and is non-judgmental and helps you get to the core of your issues. Well,
I appreciate that as well. And Kathy and I actually worked together first in a fishbowl, in the very first one where it was just one-on-one. And so we had a connection then, and our relationship's grown, and we've done some sessions together. And I'm a big fan of Kathy.
Well, I can see that you have definitely a lot of fans, Aaron, and this means that after graduation you were not wasting days and not even hours, I think, and you were making wisdom go viral and contributing to our vision of transforming 1 billion lives, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, maybe it's the time to tell our listeners and viewers, how can they find you, how can they connect with you, and what would be the process of the first session?
Yeah, the easiest connection is to connect with me via email. My email is on the screen right now. If you do want to go to my website, it's purposeandwisdomcoaches.com. And in there, you'll find out a little bit more about my strategy and philosophy on coaching. But that first session is just for us to get to know each other, provide you the safe environment that you're looking for to go to that next level. And I'll tell you, where you think you're going is probably not where you're going to end up going, because we're going to ask questions and we're going to uncover obstacles and events in your life that have gotten you where you are today. And for most people, there's things in their life that they're still holding on to that'll prevent them from moving forward. And what we will do, especially in that first session, we're going to address one of those obstacles out of the gate. And so I'd welcome that opportunity to discuss that with you and just give you a little taste of the breakthroughs that are possible through working with a coach.
Awesome. I am sure that everyone should definitely opt in for one of those sessions at least. And I cannot help but to bring the comment from your wife, I guess, who is tuning in and being so supportive and so happy to see all the positive comments. And of course, she's feeling proud.
I appreciate that. I'm very fortunate to have some cheerleaders in the front row with my 4 daughters and my amazing wife. So I'm very appreciative of all their support through this. There's many times where I would talk about the school and my wife just would say, okay, Jay Shetty, because she knows when I get in that mode where I'll start talking and she knows I'm in Jay Shetty mode because I'm asking questions. and trying to get them to think about things. And sometimes they just want the answers. So I'm sure that happens to other people in the school, but if not, be prepared for it.
I love that. I love the story. Thank you so much for sharing. And Katie, thank you for tuning in. You totally should be proud. Now, Aaron, I saw some of them questions, coming before the interview, and I'm sure we're going to get some from the audience too. Now, one of the questions that I was getting is, what to do if I don't know what I want?
That's a great question. And it's one that can go a lot of different directions on what do we want. The first step that we would likely do is use one of the tools that we're taught through the school, which is the Wheel of Life, which identifies the 8 biggest areas of our life. And we would go through that exercise to identify what areas of your life maybe you have some clarification on what you want, so we know where not to spend time. But the flip side is there's some areas of your life where you say, I don't know what I want, whether that's where you live, whether that's your financial situation, whether that's your health, your career, your relationships. There's a lot of different areas. So we would first identify what areas of life you want to focus on, and then we would just go deep in those areas. And we would do that over the course of a couple sessions to help you figure out where you are and, more importantly, where you want to be. And when you can identify where you want to be, we then can take some steps together to help you get there. And my job as a coach is to go with you along that journey, which is going to be bumpy and have some up and downs. But I'm there to continue to remind you of what that ultimate goal is to get to, and help you overcome some of the obstacles that you're going to encounter along that journey to keep you focused on that prize. So yeah, we would work together, but you would be doing the work, and you're the one who's going to accomplish the goal.
I love that. That's a really detailed answer, and I think it's really helpful, really insightful to understand how to start understanding your wants, right, and your desires at least. The second question that I got before we went live was actually about business. I think a lot of people who saw your profile, they see in you a coach, but also they see in you a role model because you're running a business. You've been there, done that from scratch, right? And a lot of people in our audience and some people in the school have sometimes this fear, of, okay, I'm going to finish the learnings and everything, but then when I have to go to the real world and do real business, all kind of fears and doubts kick in. Any advice for them, maybe?
It's perfectly natural. We all feel those same fears and doubts. But the flip side is there's a lot of successful businesses out there. And if other people can do it, why can't you do it? And I think one of the great things about the school is through the interaction with other people going through the school, you start developing a network of people, and you're going to find people that can help you with certain aspects of your business. There's not going to be one person who's going to have all the answers for your business. And I think part of being a smart business owner is to realize I don't know everything, and that's okay. And there's a perception of when you own a business or you're in a leadership position within a corporation that you have all the answers figured out. And it's really sad, but we don't. And the first time you realize and you admit, hey, I don't have all the answers, I'm going to start bringing in some experts. And so, there's a reason a company will have a chief financial officer, a chief operation, or a director of IT, an HR manager. Well, when you own your own business, you're trying to do all those things, and that's not easy to do. So my first recommendation is start building your network of people. Who can I call? Who can I send an email to where they'll respond to my email and ask one of the, where should I advertise? What should I be doing on social media? And maybe there's an expert who can help you on Facebook, and there's a different expert who can help you on Instagram or on Twitter. And you just start building that network of people. The biggest thing is to realize you're not alone. There's other people going through the exact same thing. And by working with each other, you can all win at the end of the day.
I love that advice because I think sometimes we, while we are focusing on our doubts and fears, we lose the opportunity to see what's actually available to us and use that. So you brought a really, really good point. And the other question that I had also before this interview, I think it's also a mix of, navigating through life, but also navigating through work, especially in the current situation, with COVID. What to do if you had a great career and life seemed to go well, but then you just lost your job due to COVID situation, and you seem like you cannot really, get the same position. So it ends up, being now a burden. And some people were writing that they're feeling depressed and they're feeling scared, what to do in this stage of life.
Another outstanding question. And the first thing is to validate those feelings, is that you're not alone. And what's happened has affected literally everybody around the entire world, regardless of age, demographic, or financial situation. Everybody's been affected by this. And so one of the questions I ask when I interview people for my company is, what is the greatest adversity you face in your life, and how'd you overcome it? And I really don't put too much weight on what the adversity is. I just want to know how you overcame it and what'd you do and how long did it take? If you lost your job, how long did you take to get back on your feet, to start updating your resume, your LinkedIn profile, start reaching out to people? So it's your ability to bounce back from adversity that this is testing. And I think through a coach, or you could do it on your own, is think back to times early in your life where you dealt with adversity. Maybe you had a relationship that went bad. Maybe you lost a parent, or there was a friend, or you've lost your job before. Well, how have you bounced back from that before? The other thing I tell you is, who can you talk to? Who's somebody you admire and look up to who's dealt with adversity? How do they get through it? Maybe they have some ideas of things that they've done to bounce back from adversity that you could apply. Again, you're not by yourself. Don't feel like you're all alone. There's people out there who are going through the exact same things. There's tools and resources out there that can help you through this. Don't feel like it's all on your shoulders. So that's probably where I would start with that, is to realize I'm not alone, and there's people who can help me along my way.
I love that explanation. And I also feel like, this answer is very empowering, and at the same time, it's very sobering, because you have to understand that, you're not alone. And when you're saying you're not alone, it has twofold meaning. First of all, you have support. And second of all, you're not going through this alone. There are other people who are going through this and worse. And I think it's a great approach, because I remember my first coach. And when I came and I laid out the problem, which seemed to me at that time, as an unsolvable one. And the first thing she told me, first thing, please realize that your problem is not unique. And, I had this immediate reaction, like, excuse me, what do you mean? And now I'm thinking, where did that come from? And maybe with your clients, what do you think? Where could this answer come from when, the client may feel like, what do you mean? Why are you holding this mirror for me in this way right now?
I think a lot of us are raised by loving parents who create an environment where we think we're the center of the universe and the world evolves around us. And as we get older, somebody may be as direct as your coach was with you. You realize I am special in my own ways, but so is everybody else. And the emotions that I feel, the happiness, sad, and everything in between, are the same emotions everybody else feels. And you realize I'm not alone. The world doesn't evolve around me. And it doesn't evolve around anybody else. We're all in this together. So how can we work together to support each other, work with each other? Because again, we'll all experience a greater level of happiness and satisfaction and appreciation when we work together, rather than trying to do things ourselves. You think of your greatest wins in your life. Were those things you did by yourself, or were those things you did for your family, your teammates, your coworkers, or things like that? Those are the things that you're going to remember, is the people that helped you along that journey. And I'm thankful for the people and the advisors here who have helped me, my family who's helped me. I didn't get to where I am today by myself. There's been a lot of people who have helped me get to where I am today.
Wonderful advices. Now, I am having a question from Kanika, who is asking, what is your website address?
Sure. It's purposeandwisdomcoaches.com.
purposeandwisdomcoaches.com. Oh, I see one of the audience members actually answering that question with your link. That is awesome. And I have actually some questions coming in about the program. Priyesh is asking, what has been your breakthrough being coached in the program? Interesting.
I just wrote a blog I just put up my website this week about the 5%. And in my experience, we all have different relationships in our life where we share different information. We don't share the same information with everybody in our life. For example, what you discussed with your significant significant other is different than what you discuss with your kids, which is different than your coworkers, which is different than your boss. And so we have all these different relationships, but who's that person that you can go and share everything with without fear of judgment? And that was my breakthrough going through this. I'm fortunate to have a couple people in my life who I can do that 5% with, but through going through the coaching process with the sessions where I was the client, I really felt safe because these individuals provided a safe environment where I could talk about that 5%. And that 5% dealt with family stuff, dealt with my business and things like that. And so I think that's something that I really gained a lot of value in and appreciation of is we need people that we can discuss that 5%. And it's the top 5%, but it's also the bottom 5%. But the thought to me is you've got other people for the other 90%. Who do you have for that top 5, bottom 5%? And I'm specifically referring to your personal life, your family life, and your career. Top 5, bottom 5%.
Honestly, I personally never heard or thought about this. So thank you so much for sharing that. And the other question from Julie, what was the hardest part about finding your niche?
A very good question. I feel like my niche came to me because I've been a small business owner for now 20 years. In the course of growing my business, I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing women who I've hired who are still with me today. And then also being very fortunate to have 4 daughters and really thinking about pay equality and women in the boardroom and thinking about where women are in society. And one of the things I always do, regardless of the situation, is ask, what am I doing to help that? It's easy for me to just say, hey, I'm an advocate for this, but what am I doing? How am I putting my actions where my mouth is? So I'm a firm believer in women in leadership positions, equal pay, and it needs to be, we don't talk about women coaches or women leaders, they're just leaders, they're just coaches. How do we level that playing field? So that's what I came up. It was finding something that I really believe in and then using my experience to help be an advocate for that and spread the word and raise the banner and help women get to where they want to be, whether that's in a corporate environment to have the impact they're looking for to move up the ladder, or if that's women entrepreneurs to help them build a culture and environment and a mission that is an advocate for women and help them to feel confident and strong in everything that they're doing. That's really how I found my niche. And as I was building the business I have, I continually ask my question, and I still do it to this day, would I want my daughters to work for a company my size doing what I do? And so I look at the benefits, I look how women are treated here. And there was times where I said no. Like, for example, I didn't think, I have less than 25 employees, so I'm not required to have a maternity leave policy. And because of that, I thought, would I want my kids to work? Or I probably wouldn't, because there needs to be a maternity leave policy. So I'm not required by law to have one, but I do have one. And now we have a paid maternity leave, which is up to 12 weeks as a result of that thought process. That's just one. There's a bunch I have that I've changed. But that's how I came up with my niche. I know that's a long-winded answer.
No, it's a wonderful answer. And I think it kind of shows us, again, a different aspect of what you do and why you do it. And thank you so much of being that advocate, because I think the world needs it. And especially, in your position, you could easily go for, let's go for business coaching, right? Coaching successful CEOs, because you have skills, you are there, you're relatable, but you are taking actually the harder route, right? And I think that's really something to be proud of for us, first of all, as a school, to have you as our alumni doing that mission, and spreading that impact. And Aaron, the last question I'm going to have for you is, when you are looking at where you are today, comparing to where you were, let's say, before you started this coaching journey, what were the major changes that you are observing in yourself, let's say at the personal level? Maybe you're observing changes in your communication, or maybe you're seeing yourself becoming a better friend, let's say, or a better parent. How did this impact you personally?
I love that question. And that's one I like to ask a lot of people, because I think it takes it to a deeper level of understanding. For me, I think it's much more acceptance of others is you realize we're all on a different journey. And I use the analogy of being on a bus, right? And that bus is going from point A to point B. And some people are going to be on that bus the entire journey, which is your entire life. But some people are going to get on for one stop. Some are going to be on for a couple of years of your life, a week in your life, but it's your journey, and everybody has their own journey. And I think we spend a lot of time, and I personally would get frustrated trying to control other people's lives, or you're not doing this, or that's a bad choice. And I think through this school, I've grown to be more acceptable and just appreciative of, hey, that's their journey. And my journey is different, and my perspective is different. And their life experience have taken them where they are today. My life experience has taken me where I am today. Neither one's right, neither one's wrong. It's just our journey. I think that's what's fascinating is when you can have two people with two completely opposite point of views. Both parties think they're right, and they are based on their perspective and their life experience. And so I think acceptance is the big thing that I've had a reawakening to. And then a lot of people can advocate. I love asking questions. I love hearing people's story. I believe everybody has a story, and I'm just fascinated to hear everybody's story on how they ended up where they are today. I like to read a lot of books and hear just the trials and errors that people took to where they got today. So awareness and asking questions and really digging in to listen.
I love that. Aaron, is there a favorite quote that you have, or maybe a motto that you want to share with our audience before we say goodbye to them?
Yeah, the one that just jumped in my mind is it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission.
I love that.
I think a lot of people spend a lot of time waiting for the right time to jump at an opportunity, waiting for the perfect time to build a relationship, waiting for the perfect time to apply for a job or to be assertive. And I tell you, it's just the opposite. Just go for it. I've told my kids, there's not a mistake you can make that we can't get you out of other than getting arrested or doing something illegal. But just go for it. You'll figure it out later. Just go for it. Especially for young kids, just go for it. You'll figure it out. Don't wait. Just go.
Well, don't wait, just go. And also do not wait if you are watching this interview and you're looking for a coach, particularly someone who can help you get that clarity and someone who can help you in aligning, your work-life balance and also your challenges in work or business along with the challenges in life. I recommend that you contact Aaron after this interview. You can email him. You are seeing the email on the screen. It's aw@purposeandwisdom.com, and you can always find Aaron as well on our website on www.jshettycoaching.com. Click on find a coach and you will find his profile in there, so you can always contact him directly. I would definitely take up this opportunity, and Aaron, I thank you for your time, thank you for your service, and thank you for being such an amazing graduate, alumni, and the J. Shetty certified coach. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everyone. You have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay tuned for the next week, as I will be bringing, of course, another J. Shetty Certification School graduate. So tune in, do not forget, and see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.